My mic is set to Yeti. All right. I believe we are officially live. Super
All right,
Bowl
sweet.
recap with Nate.
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and
It's
gentlemen,
PNT.
we are officially live with Nate Meninger. Did I pronounce your last name right?
Uh, yeah, it's Meininger. It's supposed to be pronounced, but no, you got it. You
Meininger.
got it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. I was close. But
Yeah,
look,
yeah. Most people butcher it.
you want to maybe give a brief background on you in prediction markets?
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of trade these, full time. Yeah, since well, I guess I really got in 2024, the middle of 2024. And yeah, I went full time last year, the start of last year, roughly. And now, we're 1 year in of going full time, and yeah, I'm doing pretty well.
You're mostly
The
like
Super
a
Bowl.
mentions guy, right? Still a little bit, but
Yeah, probably mostly. But yeah, mostly I would say. I mean, I do a little bit of other markets like politics, and these kind of culture markets, I guess, with the Super Bowl stuff like that. Um, yeah, so those markets, a little bit. I want to get more into like music markets. I feel like
yeah.
I know you trade those. I know you trade
I
those.
don't. I used to. I got rinsed so many times, but that was just me. I feel like I got into music markets at the worst time, and I was mostly kind of blindly tailing plays from other like music sharps.
Yeah.
And I came in at like the worst time. I came in at the time where the Drake third place thing happened, and I lost 5K on
Oh
that,
yeah.
like in an
Yeah.
instant.
Yeah.
And then I
Hmm.
came in at the time where Talk of the Charts, which a lot of people viewed as the Bible for Spotify or Billboard rankings, kind of had some questionable final rankings and things that I thought were bonds from what I was told were not bonds. So if I get back
Mm.
into music, I mean, honestly, I think overall it's actually been really good for me because I always have said it to people who at least even like watch my content, like never just blindly tail people, like never blindly tail positions. I mean, I think you probably agree.
Well,
Like
isn't that what you do though?
exactly. But I'm saying it taught me not to do that because I got rinsed so many
Right.
times that I was just like, I'm never gonna blindly I don't care like how much I trust someone. Like I'm never gonna just blindly tail a
Yeah.
position from someone, even if they tell me they're like super confident. Um, And nowadays, I never do it. It's just like a rule. I will never. What I will do sometimes, and I honestly think that a lot of the top like traders probably do this, is if someone has a position that they have strong conviction on, it's like tell me your thesis, and then I'll kind of judge your thesis, and then maybe I'll enter in.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like yeah, yeah. You gotta understand the trades like that
Yeah,
you're
obviously.
trying to take. Ideally, but sometimes you just get
That's the
unlucky.
hard balance with content because you get all these people watching content. They're like, "What are your picks? What are your picks? What are, And I like, I but the
Yeah.
reality of like, I almost never give out picks. The only time I post positions before was yesterday was the Super Bowl, so I was like, you know what, I'm
Hmm.
gonna give my
Yeah.
NFL announcer mention plays, but for those watching, you should never tail someone, and also you should never pay for picks if there's ever like a pick paying service or something. Don't do that
Oh, really? Oh, because I was just gonna drop my pick selling
unless it's
service.
Nate's
Okay.
tout service because his
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
locks,
It's
absolute
dropping.
locks.
Yeah, dropping next week. 5.99 a week. Something like that. Uh,
Yeah.
no, I'm just messing. But yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, like people just think that they can just tail, people and it'll work out. But I mean, a lot of the time you get a worse price, and Yeah, you just don't know what you're buying, you know,
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
there's not unlimited value, right? So the things only are worth it to a certain price, you know. So it's not like it's black and white, 99, 100, or 100 or 0 value
Yeah.
in terms of like, you know, the side of the trade you're taking.
I think that's one of the most important things for like people, I guess, is like shifting from a binary view of like yes or no, like is this a lock or not, you know, because like if you're profiting over a long period of time, it's because of price, right? All you really care about is price. Like, was Cardi B, yes, a good position? Like, was she a lock yesterday? But it's like, well, people were buying Cardi B, yes, cheap for pennies because they thought there was a good chance it would, you know, resolve 50-50 or whatever. So yeah, price is everything, and that's why the whole like pick and also it's like so many trades are like based on timing where like if you're not gonna have time to like post about it because it's available for a few seconds, you know. So
Yeah, that's true. Because like I mean, sports moves really fast, like what you're doing and stuff. So it's like you could get the same price as what somebody else got, for instance, but you got it at a different time, and the odds changed. Like the fundamentals changed essentially of how likely it is to
yeah.
actually go your way. So it's not necessarily apples to apples.
Yeah, well, we just had, you know, speaking of sports, we had a pretty big day in sports yesterday, obviously, with the Super Bowl, or should I say the Pro Football Championship. Um, Absolutely insane day. I mean, overall, high level, like, what are your takeaways from what you expected going into it? And then kind of what you saw in terms of like the, you know, flow, volume, price movement close to kind of when it started, and you know maybe how you played it.
Yeah, just I mean, I gotta say that like everything yesterday, just all around. I mean, it was kind of just insane. You know, that the volume, the um, yeah, the prices that were being paid, the mispricings, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean that's like a once in a year thing. I feel like that we saw yesterday. Like we won't see that till the next Super Bowl. Um, excuse me. Um, in terms of like how mispriced things. Like again, I said in a post that I made, um, you could get things that were literally free money essentially uh, for 90 cents or even a little less than 90 cents a contract, which is insane, by the way. Like the fair value of this was probably like 99.99 maybe. I don't ever want to say like, you know,
Right, like
100%
yeah, yeah,
free
yeah.
money, but you get what I'm saying. Like 99.99, you know, maybe even some more nines there, but you get what I'm saying. Like nothing's ever 100%. There's always some non-zero possibility that it could go against you, but I feel like yeah, I mean it, it was just insane that you're able to get stuff that's like essentially free money for high 80s, low 90s, and and yeah, just essentially bonds for high 80s,
Yeah,
low 90s,
I
which is just
see.
insane.
For you, you had a P&L of right around like 16K for the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
How did you play, you know, the Super Bowl, of your profits? Like, what was the split? And also, you know, when did you enter the majority of your positions?
Yeah. Well, so I guess I kind of, yeah, I started building up positions probably a few days prior, um, and then yeah, a lot of you know everything else. I also added the day of. I mean, the day of was just insane because things just got really traded out of proportion the day of, and to like prices that I mean, some of the things that have been listed on the NFL announcer mention market, like, you know, repeatedly throughout the whole year, got traded to prices that we have never seen the entire year, you know, that were like far out of proportion of what they should in theory be trading at, or had been previously at least. So yeah, I would say maybe, I don't know, let's say a third I maybe accumulated prior to Super Bowl Sunday, and then maybe a couple the other 2/3 during or the day of. Yeah, that's I guess
How
what I would
much
say,
how much
roughly.
of your what do you think your total position size was? Maybe excluding any like 98, 99. Like how much did you size into this?
Like, so overall, like just all markets?
Just for the Super Bowl, yeah. Cross.
Gotcha. Yeah, probably like dollars or percentage of my portfolio, or
Yeah, what either, I guess. You know, whatever smacks harder for the audience.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
$50,000.
Yeah, probably. Let me think. Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, it fluctuated because I mean there was resolutions happening, and yeah. So I mean, at any given time, probably, yeah, probably $40,000-$50,000 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, you touched on like the most obvious thing, which was like the NFL announcer mentions. I did send like my positions going into the game. I actually didn't end up really adding to any of these, even though I definitely should have. But
yeah,
my
they all hit.
yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. But like my they were locks. That's why.
Locks of the century.
Yeah, they were mortal megas. But my thought on all of these, or just on this Super Bowl in general, was like, I do know a lot of people, at least for like the mention, that started accumulating like a week out for the Super Bowl. Yeah, it is Phantom. He is the guy. Phantom asked if you're the guy crying about insiders. But
yeah, I know the poly market chills. You know, they all. Well, I don't want to diss anybody. You know, but a lot of the poly market chills. You know, they're pro insider trading. They think that, you know, we should allow, you know, all that. So, but anyways, sorry, you can continue.
Yeah, no. It's, so for the Super Bowl, I guess all I was gonna say is like I know a lot of people that started accumulating positions like a week out, and prices were great, but you know they were like any other good NFL game. But I took the disciplined approach to wait as close as I could till game time. I didn't accumulate these positions until like literally 30 minutes before, and they all filled within like I don't know, like I guess a couple of these maybe day of. I think some of these I got a few hours for, but they all filled through in like 2 minutes. So the flow was absolutely insane. I am glad I waited till game time started, kind of trying to anticipate like where these prices were going to go. I mean, you just know with a lot of like crazy rec flow, there's going to be what a catch. Yes, is going to like go insane. And yeah, I mean, yes side went up to like 53 for what a catch. So for those of you watching too, like, for all of these strikes, to give you like context on like an estimate of what the fair value was, like for no what a catch at the Super Bowl, I think conservatively fair value was probably around 75%, you know, obviously like plus or minus, like it's not, these aren't exact figures, like it's working with like a decent sample size. What a handed fair value is probably closer to like 85. And then late hit again in roughing, we're probably in that range of like 85 for no. And I mean, yeah, you can just see like what a catch was definitely the craziest, getting down to 50-50. So my takeaways for the Super Bowl is like, I'm Happy that I waited to enter some of these positions, but overall, I kept a lot in cash, anticipating crazy prices live that I kind of didn't get as much. So I wish I'd entered more positions in, the advertising markets, the attendance markets, all those. So I think there was a
Yeah.
big missed opportunity there for me. I should have, because I only had like 20K in positions pre-game, which was just maybe 25K. I don't know. I should have had way more.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that was smart though, because yeah, you were right. I mean, the prices just got like super insane on game day. And you said, so I'm assuming you were trading live. Were you like bidding markets live during the game?
Yeah, mostly like market making things during the game, or just being a maker on certain like props, things like that. But most of what I at least do for sports is like significantly better in close games. So the fact that it was a blowout just made it like kind of difficult. I mean, there were definitely opportunities, but if this was a close game, I think it would have been unbelievable to live trade. But since it wasn't close, it's just like I had a ton of idle cash.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're talking about the actual game market, so not the mention market.
Yeah, the actual game markets. Like I probably should have sized more into mentions live, but I just was expecting like all the markets they had on the game to be crazy, like all the props, everything. Gotcha. And some of them definitely were. It's just wasn't as much to go around with it not being kind of a close game. So we'll start with you. You made about 15K in profit. Where was that kind of spread out? Like what markets did that mostly come from?
Yeah. So yeah, I would say the well, the biggest one was the full perform market. Even though I lost, almost $2,500 to insiders on that one, I still came out almost
Allegedly.
actually a little over.
I'm just kidding.
What, alleged? No,
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
No, there's no allegedly around here. But
I lost 1,200 on this market. But how did you play this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's interesting actually. So what I kind of figured, like, okay, so this market got super insider traded, right? And it was super obvious at some point. Like once Ricky Martin got up to, 80s or high 70s and Lady Gaga got in the 70s, it became abundantly obvious this was being insider traded, and they were plowing, hundreds of thousands of dollars into these these markets into Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga. So it became very clear there. And so what my thought on that kind of was okay, so I lost almost $2,500 from sizing into nose, because the price was, I thought the price was crazy at 50-50, or well, maybe not crazy, but mispriced. So it became
for who 50-50 for which person?
For Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
I thought the price was very mispriced at 50-50. And I think outside looking in it was, but unfortunately I'm not inside looking out. So I got cooked on that. But my thought after that, right, was that, okay, so these insiders, they're bonding up yeses here, right? They're certain that these are going yes. So my thought after that was like, okay, so if they know that these are going yes, then surely the rest are going no, right? That was my, like, if the rest if these are going yes, then surely they would have bought up the other ones to absurd prices too, right? And that was my thought, at least, right? So if if there was going to be other performers, they would have wiped the books on those, plowed hundreds of thousands of dollars into those too. But they didn't. So that was kind of my thought process there, was that I just basically farm nose on everything else
What were your biggest? Were you mostly on was I'd imagine was what's his name? Travis Scott one of your biggest no's?
Yeah, that was my biggest no, actually. Yeah, I even on game day, like I just had to keep adding to that one because like people were buying off of what I thought was silly reasoning that he was like at the stadium. And yeah, like he was parading around the field a couple hours before the game, or maybe an hour and a half or something like that, an hour and a half before the game, and stuff. And that's just not like, you're not going to see that happening for somebody that's performing for the halftime show.
And what was it
Yeah, I
at
mean they got
then? Still 70?
it was about maybe slightly over 50 cents, like
Wow,
low
it was still
50s.
50-50?
Yeah, low 50s for sure. You might have been able to even get fills below 50 cents by a little bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, so I had to size on the nose there a good amount. Yeah, I think people kind of put weight on the wrong thing there. And you gotta like understand, someone that's performing for the halftime show is not going to be parading around the stadium or like on the field, saying hi to everybody and whatever,
Yeah.
uh, an hour or two before the game, right? Um, like they have to prepare, and even the men are probably wearing makeup and have to put on makeup for lighting purposes and stuff like that. Like, there's other things they got to prepare for, outfits and stuff, and all that stuff. So I just figured, yeah, that there's no way he was worth that, or even anywhere near that. I thought the fair value was probably 5% at best at that point. Once he was like, once it was like within an hour of the game, and he's on the field saying hi to people, and doing what Travis Scott does. um I just figured it had to be pretty close to like zero fair value. At best 5%. That was my thought. But yeah, so that was kind of my idea there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. So I mean, large on Travis. Did you probably have no Cardi as well, given she wasn't like that high pre-market?
Yeah. Well, so there was some weird trading on Cardi too, and I think that got insider traded as well. But the insiders didn't really understand the rule. Well, some of the insiders actually. I actually think that one was crazy because there was insiders on both sides of the trade on that one, because it was an ambiguous one where it was not really clear if it met the criteria to resolve yes, but it was kind of ambiguous because she was, just so everybody knows, and there's like background and everything, so everybody understands. She was there at the halftime show. Like she danced in the background, and yeah, whatever. So it's kind of like ambiguous if that counted as a performance per se, and there was kind of contradictory things in the rules. So I think the insiders actually literally were trading against each other on that one
Well,
before game day.
the price
And
action
so
on
there's
this live was just crazy. Yeah, like even
oh yeah, it was
during
super.
the
Yeah, she got as low or as high as like the
99.
90s.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah,
for yes. Oh, I just know
for
no's
yes.
got as high as 99 because I know someone
Yeah.
getting 100K at a penny.
Oh really? Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um yeah, it was so wild the way it traded. Because I think once people saw her on the on the
Screen.
stage, I guess, if you consider the stage, or yeah, the screen, whatever,
Yeah.
they immediately gapped it up, right? But then it wasn't really clear if it was going to count, so it gapped down again. But yeah, so there was some weird trading on her like days out from the Super Bowl as well. So I figured that was insider trading as well, but there was insiders on both sides of that trade, it seemed like. So I was a little weary on that one, and I ended up panic selling my nose at like 55 cents ish or something, which ended up not being probably the best decision. But yeah, I still made profit on that one, so I can't complain. But yeah, I mean, it was just, yeah, I kind of panic sold. You know, I kind of did.
I did the
Sorry,
same,
go
like
ahead.
where I'm just happy like I didn't size up that big into Lady Gaga. And once I saw the price action on Lady Gaga, I was just like, there's no way I could have an information edge here. So I sold all my positions and only took like a $1,200 loss. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna look for some of these other markets. But yeah, this was just a crazy one to watch live. I'm kind of sad I missed out on buying some cheap yeses when it went so demonstrably like 99 no. Just watching the order book live during the halftime show too, because people are wondering like, is she gonna come out, was pretty bizarre.
Yeah, and I started second guessing myself like slightly because the order book was crazy. I mean, you saw it go like single digits, and I was like, I saw Cardi B there, right? Didn't I see? Wasn't that Cardi B? You know, you start second guessing yourself once the order book or like the market starts going against like your thoughts, I guess. So it's hard to trade these live and like, you know, keep a solid state of mind and you know, keep calm and you know, go with your gut, I guess, when things are trading so like erratically all over the place.
Yeah, I should have still gotten like a small position, but I think I bought some live and then flipped a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, so this was performers. What was your next biggest, market for Super Bowl?
I think it was well, no, actually it would be the announcer market.
Announcer mentions.
Yeah. I want to hear what you've been trading in this. Well, so you said
Yeah,
you had one-handed no, you had roughing the passer late hit, what a
Yeah.
catch no.
Most of my profits for this were all from for all the Super Bowls on the mention. I mean the main ones I played, the biggest position I had was no what a catch, just because I felt like this was the most mispriced of them all. Like I said, I felt like fair was
insane.
Around.
You went crazy size on that.
To me, I still undersized. I was trying to do like at least 10K across 4 strikes, and then I kind of wimped out because I was like, why take the risk when I think I could make like even better positions? I don't know. I'm still not happy how I played Super Bowl, but so I went 10K, no shares for what a catch.
10K. So you got like 54 cents a share, 53 cents a share.
Yeah, I got like 53.5 average. Yes.
Yeah.
53.50.
Wow. That's super solid.
But I mean, I could have gotten 48 if I waited even longer, but
Yeah.
Well, and then
yeah, the price just kept getting better.
Yeah, it kept going crazy. And then like roughing, no, I mean, this one wasn't as crazy. And I got a terrible entry. Roughing no was in like mid 60s when the game started, which is just so crazy. I should have sized up into that then. But I got in at like 71. And I guess my thought process was like, I wanted to play the regular strikes to where I didn't think Super Bowl would impact it as much. Like what a catch to me was a little risky because I thought maybe the announcers could try to be like more excited, talking about it. That's why like I didn't go crazy big, like 20K, but roughing, I'm like, what world? Like to me, Super Bowl, this being primetime biggest game of the year, makes roughing the passer seem even lower because I'm like, there's so many things to talk about. One-handed no. Again, I got this in the 70s. It came even lower. It was in like low to mid 60s during the game, right before the game. But one-handed, I was going to take this up to at least 10K shares, but I got, again, whenever I have like great spots, like it's so easy to fudge yourself out of just like taking it. But in like the AFC, NFC games, like of these teams, like they had all had some pretty big one-handed catches. So had some fear that maybe there's a chance they would show like a clip from the last 2 games on like the road to get here and talk about having like a crazy one-handed catch. Because that did happen on both Seahawks and Patriots. And then late hit again. Like this is one I'm just like, how is this gonna come in? So I took no's, but I'm upset. Like things like Trump no. I think this was like in the
Oh yeah.
80s. Like this is a bond. I don't understand why I
Yeah, I don't
take a lot of this.
I don't know why that was trading so high. Trump wasn't even at the game. Like there was no reason. I was paranoid. I was a little paranoid that they would say something like Trump card, like pull the Trump card, like some weird non-traditional like use of it or something. I was a little paranoid of that, but yeah, it seemed to be trading like way too high.
And then also like Mahomes, no, I wonder like did it get too high because of that video where somebody asked him about Mahomes?
Yeah, that was funny. I almost feel like maybe he didn't say it because of that or something. Like is I don't know, maybe I'm superstitious.
Wow, look at this. Cardi B was in the 60s too, but yeah, keep going.
No, I just like I don't know, they're planting like seeds in this guy's head and maybe he didn't like say it because of that or something. I don't know. I'm just theorizing here, but yeah, I mean like yeah, I never feel good about strikes where it's like I know the fourth wall has been broken and this guy knows about this and knows that this play exists. Like yeah, that gets me uneasy. So I avoided that strike, but fair play to anybody that took it. It probably was a good play to take the no there, but I was too scared.
Yeah, I definitely should have sized up more across more no's. Like happy I didn't take no good though. I think this was like pretty mispriced towards like favoring the no side. Like you should have taken no, but I didn't. Yeah, and I guess Pro Bowl was like said super early and like stayed. People thought it was dead for a while. I don't know. So it's something I missed. I mean, just so much to watch during the game. What was next gen?
Was there any of these that you thought like maybe were like more or less likely based off of it being specifically the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, given it was the Super Bowl, I thought penalties were less likely. So things like roughing, late hit, I did feel like were less likely. One-handed and what a catch, I felt like there was some things that could lean to them being maybe more likely. They both kind of throw the ball a little more than other teams. Maybe not even that much more, but just like, they both can throw the ball. They have some big people on their teams. Like I think, is it Jackson Nigma or something on
Enigma or something like that.
Yeah, it's like super known for these crazy. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that made me scared a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, what a catch. I felt like was just, I didn't feel like there was that big of an increase of this like potentially coming up. So like one-handed, I was a little spooked on, but and outside of that, like you can see, I didn't really spread out that much. I wish I did just take notes.
So you said, like you said, you thought penalties were less likely to the Super Bowl. Is there like data that you have on that, or like
I did not look at like
less penalties in Super Bowls or something like that?
The extent of data I really looked at, that was purely my assumption of just like thinking about it, where I'm like, you know what, it's that, and then also there's so many things going on. It's like all the things these guys have to talk about, like a risk. Going back to like the inch no strike was like when the games become blowouts, these guys will just freaking yap about the most random stuff. So I felt like there was enough going on, even if it wasn't a close game, that they would not yap about like, oh, remember his one-handed catch back then. Remember he had a 48-inch vertical. I don't know.
Yeah, that's smart. That's what cooked me on. I had schedule no, and literally last minute they said it, and it was pure yap. It was total yap. The game was basically over, but the clock was still, I mean, the game wasn't over, but it wasn't a competitive game. It was like less than 2 minutes left, and they just started yapping, and they cost me like, a bunch of money from saying schedule no at the last minute of the game or something, last minute or two.
I think
the yap you got to watch out for.
That was where no good came up too, right? Where it was just like they were just randomly saying something like a no, wasn't even a reference to a kick.
Yeah, that's the funny part. I don't even remember the full context, but yeah, it wasn't in reference to a kick, and the I mean the odds on them saying no good were probably like a lot lower, like under 30%, I would say.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was.
yeah, I mean,
I knew people that were like sized up here, and good for them. Like I think somebody had like close to 50K what a catch no, just providing like.
Wow.
I mean, it's funny because if people didn't even throw up big bids, like it would have gone 60-40 yes. It was just like constant just fills. And the one good thing about this is just like you can see when you're getting filled, it's like 10 shares, 15 shares. So you're like, okay, feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's not somebody wiping your entire order.
like when we had I don't know if you were on this, but there was a time where we were taking no on Next Gen Stats when they had just integrated it for Monday Night Football, and I had like big 5K bids up, and it was just like all of a sudden it's just 5K has been filled, and I'm like, something's happening, you know? And then you find out,
yikes,
they integrated Next Gen Stats for Monday Night Football, and I'm like, okay, I'm cooked.
Yeah, was that live or was that like pregame?
I was pregame. It was just like nobody had caught the news except this one guy, and he just started mass accumulating. I dumped.
Yeah, they knew something. They knew the news. They saw the news. Yeah, that's scary because usually it's like when your full bid gets filled, it's probably smart money or something that's like filling you because they know something you don't. So it's never a good feeling.
Yeah,
but
I think that is a good tip to anyone who's providing maker orders. I mean, not even a tip. Everybody obviously knows this, but just like if you get filled in size, probably be careful. But you were going to say?
I was just going to ask, what were the other market? Well, maybe you don't want to share your alpha here, but
no, I can share some of the other ones.
The other markets you were playing, and the sports markets. You said you were playing like. Yeah, in game.
Well, yeah, I mean,
kind of play.
The one maybe before. I guess okay. Yeah, let's see on the sports one. Like, I really didn't do well trading sports live, like during the game in those markets. I'll share like the annoying one was, would there be a defensive or special teams touchdown? Like for majority of what I was doing was just looking at all these tons of props they had. I was able to get like 5K shares at 78 cents, which this was close to the end of the third quarter. I think fair value at least had to be like 90 because I think pre-market this was closer to like 70. So being able to get 78, obviously, like going towards the end of the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, they had that freaking defensive, fumble, or I guess interception, they ruled it.
Yeah.
Pick six. Rinsed me like 4K.
That's so unlucky.
It was so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how often defensive touchdowns happen, but I'd imagine in any given half, probably under 5%, right? I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been very low. It was clearly like, obviously, it was a great buy. It just was. I was like, are you kidding me? Of course.
Yeah, that's so unlucky. That's a bad beat right there.
That's a bad beat right there. I mean, are there any other, let me see, cool like sports ones that I could share? Like,
so do you feel like you ran kind of like unlucky yesterday?
Oh, I ran so unlucky in the game of like, for those like total that I made was 11K, I think, or so on Super Bowl day. But like, if I had, for example, if that like thing hadn't happened, that would have been like an extra 5K, so 16K. If this crazy defensive in fourth quarter, and then I also had a lot of other things during the game. Like there was a time in Q1 for like, I had a pretty big position on like timing of the touchdown. It was a really good entry, and that was when like the Seahawks got to the red zone in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it's like if they had converted there, like would have made a killing. But you know, they didn't get the TD. I lost like 2K there. But I had like just an insane entry there. But outside of that, like some other markets, like did you play the Who Will Attend market?
I did, yeah, a little bit. Not one of my bigger markets, but I did play it a little bit.
This is one that
800 P&L there.
Super small. I mean, but this is one like I really regret not playing more. I think there were some just insane fills you could get here. Like, I mean, the one position that I think a lot of people talked about was like Timothy Chalamet was my main position at like 72 cents.
Oh yeah.
Because I think he was pretty much confirmed to be performing like in LA, you know, during the game or whatever. So I don't know why I didn't take this up to like 10K. It was just like extremely unlikely that he would be at the game, given he had another performance.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to research all of these. I feel like it would take so much time, but I'm just very like, I'm sure there were some of these in the 70s that you could just kind of bond. And I know people were doing that. Wow.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is, like you're saying, he wasn't even going to be available for the game. Like he definitely wasn't going to be there because he had other shows. You were able to bond like a ton on him not being there when it was like virtually guaranteed. You know, that's the crazy part about these markets. I feel like yesterday is that you can get crazy mispricings like that. But yeah, I had a little bit of nose that I had on him as well that I ended up selling. But I feel like I probably should have sized heavier into this market too. It seems like barely anybody. Well, so far, I guess there's still time technically for sources to come out that confirm that these people were there. Because a big issue with this market is that, like, yeah, that there's not sources confirming people that were there necessarily. If they were, they might not have been, but it's hard to prove that some of these people were there. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. Like, I feel like I should have went heavier in this, knowing that that was going to be an issue, and sized heavier in the nose as well. Because it seemed like only really the high priced people when yes.
Well, it's crazy. Like Trump, you could probably get like 100K easily filled at like nose for 95. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know, maybe 97. It looks like it got up to 95 like during the game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even understand. I should have just been parking like 100K there. So I mean, that's my big is I just wish I would have sized up across more things in terms of taking some of these crazy no's. But at the time, I was like, I mean, I was like, is 5% really good enough to like? But it's like I ended up just having so much cash still sitting that I could have put to use.
Yeah, same. I kind of was in the same position. I feel like I could have deployed more cash because I didn't bond anything that was like 98 or anything, because I figured I would need the cash, but I didn't end up needing it. And yeah, probably going to put that to better use, because I mean, Trump literally was confirmed that if he's not going to be there, JD Vance was even more
in Italy.
Crazy. Yeah, he's not even in the country. Like you could get that was actually a case with several different people. They were confirmed not in the country, and you could buy no's anywhere from like high 80s to 97 or whatever JD was at, and just farm no's, literally free money, like money falling from the sky. Not even joking, like literally money falling from the sky. Money was falling from the sky yesterday. Yeah, well, you know, yeah, that's really what they were, the mortal mega locks, and there was money falling from the sky, and we passed it up. You know, we passed it up.
Yeah,
it was there for the taking. I mean, well, some of it at least. I mean,
There
we could have
was
gone heavier into
100K
these
on the
things.
ground and we didn't pick it up. We just let it sit there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. And nobody wanted to bond at such high prices. I mean, I would take the high 80s and low 90s bonds all the time, and I did take some of those. But yeah, like there's other people where somebody commented under your post about this, I think, that Shakira was performing in El Salvador and she was definitely not going to be there for the halftime show because she's literally in a different country, and there is zero chance she was ever going to be performing for the Super Bowl. So it's just so funny that
And
was
Shakira was
trading.
at like what? Like it was actually like, I think like 7 or something. Or let me see.
Yeah.
Zoom this out.
I got no's on her in the high 80s and 90 cents and stuff. And that was, yeah, before the game started. But yeah, you could really get bonds on her for high 80s and 90 cents.
20K
That's
was
literally
traded at
free money.
89 cents for no.
Yeah, literally free money.
I guess could there be like some video performance that people were thinking? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's worth like 0.1 cent. I feel like at best, you know.
Yeah.
But it's, I guess, in theory possible if that would even count as a performance. I don't know, but yeah, it could have happened, I guess. But yeah, I mean, this is like, we knew that they were not in the country and people were still paying 10 plus cents on it.
Mm-hmm. Did you play the ad market at all?
I did, yeah, I did play that. It was an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so there was, yeah, the whole Anthropic thing.
I was an Anthropic no holder.
Yeah, were you? When did you enter that trade?
So Anthropic was like, okay, for those that aren't aware, right? Claude had a commercial. Claude is the AI model of Anthropic. So technically it's like a sub brand underneath Anthropic. And this market was just covering brands. Anthropic was originally trading really high on the yes side after the Claude ads kind of came out and were confirmed for the Super Bowl. But it was clarified that like only brands, quote unquote, would count. So given Claude is like a brand underneath Anthropic, since it didn't have any branding whatsoever for Anthropic, like nowhere did it say Anthropic, they ruled that it would not count. So then, you know, obviously no kind of yes cratered, no obviously pumped. I then started trading at like 70 in the 70s at one point last week after the clarification, like a day later.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
I bought 10K no's in the 70s, planning to kind of just hold it. But then people were talking about, you know, like, is yes going to continue to pump because like there might be all this flow coming in that will still buy it based off of the Claude ad.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of hovered closer to like 85 as like the game kind of got close to starting. So I actually exited again at 85. And then when they aired the first ad for Claude, one thing that a lot of people were worried about was, could they change the ad to add like Anthropic somehow in the commercial that airs? So once they aired the first commercial before the game that clearly showed they did not add an Anthropic and it was just the same Claude ad, I bought 10K more at 83 or so. And then it kind of steamed up to the 90s. But then during the game, and I think the first half, they said brought to you by Claude. And I knew that that would not in itself count for it. But the fact that like Anthropic or Claude was like involved in like in-game ads like that, like I thought the odds of that was just like so low, right? Like why would they ever have like an brought to you by Anthropic? Like I was memeing and fudding people that like that would happen as a joke, like, oh, the Anthropic pylon cam.
Yeah.
But when they actually even mentioned Claude during it, and I guess they've been doing this for NBA games if I'd known, I dumped my 10K at still above my entry price by like a couple of cents, but like I was like, you know what? That just shattered my idea of like the fair value of this, because I was like, is there really a reasonable chance they're going to say something with Anthropic?
Mhm.
So I dumped at like in the mid 80s and didn't hold anymore. Obviously bad play in retrospect, but like I just got so spooked hearing the brought to you by Anthropic or brought to you by Claude.
Yeah, that's honestly, I didn't even know about that. I did the same thing as you did. I bought Nose after the first commercial aired without saying Anthropic. But if I had known, I guess I wasn't uh, you know, paying that close attention to the broadcast. I didn't even know they did a little segment like that, brought to you by Claude or whatever. But yeah, that definitely changes the odds there, because yeah, I mean, if they can do that, they could potentially say. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about like the announcer said brought to you by Claude, or maybe it was like a voiceover sort of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, they could. I mean, all they got to do is say Anthropic, and that instantly is gonna spike. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if it's trading so high already, it's probably worth taking the profits there.
Yeah, it spooked me and it shattered like I said my idea of like fair value. So I just was like, I could be completely off on this, but I don't know. Probably obviously a bad idea in retrospect, but you know we took the L. So curious now. You know, last thing I wanted to say on that topic is like someone apparently like I was looking at your profile. I saw like you
Mm-hmm.
only are up like 172K. It looks like
Oh
somebody,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think somebody
yeah.
frame
Well,
mobbed you. Let me
oh,
see
did
it.
they? Hmm.
Yeah, I think you got
I feel
frame
like
mobbed by someone.
is that
Do you
Inspect
ever?
Element? I feel like that might be Inspect Element right there. You know,
So you have no response to getting frame. Is your cortisol pumping right now?
frame mocked. It might be. It might be. I don't know. I mean, you're kind of talking a lot of talk here. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you get like a lot of your alpha from other people, and then you
Wow!
claim it as your own.
Wow!
You know, so that's a lot of talk.
Holy!
That's a lot of
If only
talk.
you knew. See, this guy just thinks that I'm just I'm a lurker, just stealing edges from. Is
Hey,
that what I'm being
that's
accused of?
yeah. That's what the streets are saying. That's
Who are these
what's your
streets? Who are these
response?
streets?
What's your response to those
All my
accusations?
alpha is homemade from me. My
Really?
yeah, these
All of
are
it,
my
100%.
plays. All of it, 100%.
Oh,
Not a
okay. Sure,
not a
sure,
single
sure.
play. The
Yeah, everybody
in,
believes you.
the
Everybody
Anthropic thing
believes.
was all me. You know, I was the first one to know it was gonna go no.
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
invented
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, 100%.
these mentioned fair values, like they took me a lot of time for these mentioned market fair values, you know,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
build.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
No, I mean, we all get alpha from other people. That's kind of part of the whole thing here is we talk to other people, bounce ideas off, you know, get yeah, you exchange thoughts with people, and alpha, I guess, as you call it. Um, so that's yeah, I mean that's all part of the thing, and but yeah, I mean some of us more than others. So you have 4 5 on me, but
Holy
90% of
cow,
that's
dude.
from.
Someone is modding something right now. Like as I'm looking at this,
Really?
what the hell is happening?
Oh man, should I be
Crazy.
watching this? Is it for
Uh,
basketball?
no, this is for AI. Did someone just
Oh,
like?
okay.
How much did they mod this?
What's going on? Commentate for
All
us,
right.
TMT.
Okay. Here, I'll share this tab. I don't wanna blow it up though. Let me see.
You gotta okay. You can send
This
it
is
to me in the
my
chat.
alpha, right? Is someone?
Your alpha.
No, it's just
You gotta
someone in
protect
the
your
someone
alpha.
in some AI markets. They. I was wondering why my P&L changed so much, and then it's like someone completely mogged a book, and I was bonding something, and like how much did they eat? Let's see, dude. Somebody bought 40K. What are they doing? Why was one type bids up? Oh my
40K,
gosh!
like the
Someone
40K
bought
market
40K
order.
of something. There's basically dollars right now, and someone bought 40K of $0 up to 25 cents.
What? That's insane.
On some AI stuff.
I feel like
bids up.
yeah, these AI markets have been kind of like huge farms lately. If you knew what you're doing, like I traded.
I think AI markets are
one.
super complicated. I would not advise getting into them.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like some of the
definitely.
sharpest.
Well, but those are your markets, though. Like,
Hey, you know, I used to be one of the top AI people. Let's see, what am I?
yeah.
Let's look at this. Let's look at the all-time AI. Look at that. He's up there. He's up there for AI.
That's 27 grand right there. Ooh, yeah, and then I don't know. I mean, there's been some.
You know who I don't
good
see here,
AI
by the way?
farms
This
lately.
Nate guy.
Oh yeah,
anywhere
I guess
on
he
this.
he's washed. He's not on your level, you know. Not in the
Yeah.
AI markets. Not in the AI markets, you know.
I don't see him anywhere.
But well, the AI markets are the one market that you actually get alpha for your own. So
Wow. Holy. Where do you think my sports plays originate from, huh?
No, we can't reveal that.
Thanks calling those shots. Okay, so
no, I'm just messing with you.
No, I know. But
yeah.
We have the NFL now over. I mean, I know for you, I don't think NFL was that big of your sport because you're always afraid to size up. You know, you're like terrified of like having more than 500 shares on a position.
Well, so that is true. You're right. But for the Super Bowl, I actually did size up. I'm starting to break my ways.
Okay,
change my ways.
What was your biggest position on the Super Bowl? How much did you have on No Travis?
No Travis. That would have been like, I think a little over $3,000. Yeah, a little over.
So you had like 5K shares of No Travis.
I think 5,500. Yeah, 5,500. Yeah. So, yeah. That's yeah. I had that. Well, usually, so yeah, I probably had like 25 grand in the performance who will perform market throughout all the strikes, and then the announcer mention market I probably had, I want to say 10 to 15 give or take, but not I didn't, so I had more strikes, like I probably spread that out between like 7 strikes each, probably 7. Yeah. I probably had closer to 15K and spread it out between like maybe 7 strikes ish. So I wasn't maybe 7 or 8, something like that. So I wasn't as like condensed as you, but you had probably about the same amount, but more on each strike than me.
Yeah, I was pretty like, you know, only those 4 strikes. But again, I wish I would have definitely spread out more. Because there's just a lot of opportunity. And I think like when I have difficulty to size up, it's good to spread out, you know, because if I have positions scattered around like a ton of different things, like it's, you know, I'll feel more comfortable. And that's kind of what I should have done for NFL announcer mention, like at least have like, there's just so many other ones I should have taken. But I'm curious, like with NFL ending, what do you think is going to be like the big for the next month? Obviously, State of the Union is like an obvious one for the mention side, but like
Hmm. Yeah, definitely State of the Union. Um, yeah, I mean, there's gonna be, I don't know. Should I talk about this? I feel like basketball mentions are gonna be worth you know investing into. So definitely that. I haven't I've kind of gone pretty light on those, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
They took away my like the love of my life, honestly. Like they took away
NFL.
dunk my
Oh,
dunk
don't.
my dunk. No. They took it from me. They took it from me. They literally took it from me. That was what I lived for, okay? I lived for dunk no.
What was fair value of
Okay.
Dunk No? Give me actual fair value.
Oh, but what if they relist it though? They could
They're not going
relist
to
it.
relist it.
But if
Come
they
on.
do, then I'm giving away major alpha.
Wow.
If should I? I don't know. Okay, all right, all right. I'll 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 leak alpha here. And if they relist it, then I think everybody should just let me get good prices and not bid this at all. And it's a terrible play. And definitely do not buy dunk. No, they're gonna say it every game. Why wouldn't they say
Fair.
dunk? It's dunk. It's literally dunk. They're gonna say it every game. Definitely don't buy dunk. No. But anyway, no, I probably fair value is like, yeah, I don't know. I would say 20%, about, give or take 5% on each side.
And it was
I
what,
would,
like 3 cents every game?
yeah. There was literally one. They listed like the first time they did this, or no, they had one game they listed one time, and it was trading at like 10 cents, and I got 10 cents. It didn't go my way, but I mean it's 80/20, so it's like not going to go your way most of the time anyway. But like, um, yeah. Uh, the first time I bought it didn't go my way, but then they listed 6 more games that were all the same night, um, uh, and they all had dunk on them, and they were all priced 2 to 3 cents. I'm not even shitting you. And
How
they put
many
up,
bids? Yeah.
yeah, they put up large bids. Like this person that was, they know what they did. They were literally market making essentially. They put up a bid at 1 cent and a bid at 3 cent, and it was like a ton of shares too. It was like maybe 10,000 shares or something. I didn't get all of them, but yeah, there was, I think they even started. I think they started at no bid on the yes side, or on the no side, and 2 on the no side, or the no, yeah, 2 on the, or well, 98 on the yes side, and nothing, no bid on the no side. And then I think the 2 cent level, or on no,
Yeah.
essentially, which is 98 cents on yes, got cleared on those. So they readjusted to 1 and 3. Um, and yeah, I got some of the twos, some of the threes, and I even bought some four, or put up bids for like threes and fours. Um, and it was just insane. Like you could get thousands of shares on something that's probably worth 20%, and that's a massive amount of
So
EV, especially at
how
those
much were you
prices.
filling at that time each game? Because I want to hear
Yeah.
your thoughts and
Um,
like if you were willing to pull
so
the trigger or if you were a wimp.
Well, relatively speaking, I was a wimp, but at the time, but I still put in like over $100. Some of them I probably had a couple $100 in.
So like
Um,
what, 3K shares a game?
some of them I had like 5, 6K. I two out of the 6 went my way, so I probably made like, yeah, I probably made like 5 or 6K, something like that. Um, with 2 out of the 6 going my way, which is probably above, the fair value. Like 2 out of 6 would be 33%. Um, that's probably above fair value. So maybe I ran a little lucky, or a little hot on those two, but yeah, I mean, 2 out of 6 got thousands of shares, more than paid for everything, plus a lot more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dunk. I'm just so sad, man. I'm sad. I'm depressed. They took away my Dunk. No, it was everything I lived for, you know, and I
Ever since
lost it.
then,
I
your P&L
lost
has
it
just been
all.
like flat. So it's just like you had
I
one
know.
gimmick, and
I,
now.
I know. That was my one trick, man. That was my one
But
trick.
yeah, I'm gonna have to get into
That's what I needed.
basketball too, and maybe Olympics even. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, that's another thing is Olympics. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be some good markets there. Um, I'm curious to see what like the big events are going to be on those. I'm not like I can't say I'm a big Olympics sharp or like and know a ton about the Olympics, but yeah, I'm curious to see what will be like the big events that'll do a lot of volume there and stuff. I don't know if you have any insights on this, but
yeah, I'm
um,
curious too. I mean, given it's the Winter Olympics, I just feel like nothing really. Like, who actually watches Winter Olympics? But I mean, I'm sure there will be some volume. In terms of like
mhm,
what I'm thinking is like March Madness. Obviously, is going to be crazy. But for
that too.
February, State of the Union will be insane. And I'm hopeful that for State of the Union, there will be a big push for it, and you'll get a lot of new mentions users because, like, you know, especially after all the money everybody made, it's like trying to compete with people who are going to put up like 100K bids for like good strikes. I'm like, are they going to let like the flow kind of make the prices good a little bit, or like, like I
Hmm.
just, um, and yeah, so State of the Union, March Madness, maybe some of these big Olympics things will be big, but my kind of thought process now is like, yeah, I'm going to learn basketball a little bit, but I also want to get back into like some of the older ones, like I mentioned, kind of doing AI a little bit now, and culture I might take a
Hmm.
look at. I really just want to find more areas to bond. Honestly, like kind of that's a lot of my favorite strategies, just like bonding the
Just
size.
bonding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
full porting bonds.
maybe not full port, but like, well, full port across a ton of different bonds. But like right now, I'm feeling like a bond for 91 for something that I think fair
Hmm.
value is 99. Maybe you could argue 98, but like it is
Yeah.
so mispriced. And that's why that was the one that somebody
Well.
just jumped down to 75 that I was like, what the hell? And and
Oh, okay.
I want to learn more categories. Like you were saying, getting into culture, like the markets. I'm never going to bond something, obviously, that I don't fully understand. Like mentions, yeah, I can bond mentions because I know what the rules disputes will be. I know the rules extremely well. Other categories like AI, I can confidently bond AI because I just know how all that works
Hmm.
really well. Culture, I obviously can't do that, right? I have no idea. So I want to like learn because like I will see constantly people in like music markets bonding like 100K on just things that can't happen. Like Taylor Swift to be number one in like a random week where like obviously she's not going to be number one. Um,
Hmm.
so like I really like bonding for consistent kind of just like profits. Obviously, story of a turkey, like chance that you're gonna eventually
Oh,
get
yeah,
a
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, I've lost on bonds before. It's not like I haven't had those losses before. But
yeah,
I love them.
yeah. It's all about sizing. I mean, that's why I don't. I know you like full porting sports bonds, but I can't
I
feel good about
I only would
that.
ever full port stuff that's like it's literally a decided thing. It's not even like there's no judgment whatsoever. That's the only time I would ever full
Yeah,
port
yeah.
theoretically. And even then, I'm not
I
like
guess with sports, that's the case sometimes. Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Well, my DMs are open, PMT anytime. 91 cent. You said.
you didn't tell me shit
Um,
about Dunk when this was live, bro. Okay, so if we want to talk people
well,
who are
there
just
was,
extractors, I know you're in a
you know,
Discord server with a lot of alpha
okay.
shared,
Well,
and I don't see a lot of comments back from a certain person.
whoa, whoa, shots fired right there. No, well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But Well, the funny thing is I feel like every time I've tried to share alpha with you, it's gone wrong. I don't know if that's
I
because of me or because of you,
know. No, it's
but
you.
something.
Yeah, you're always like you're
Something's
like, I'll
not
get you
right,
back for helping with this. Let me send you a good play, and then it's just like completely,
and then it goes wrong. It
yeah.
doesn't matter if it's plus EV or negative EV. It doesn't even matter if it's plus EV. Like it'll still go wrong. If I want the second I share a play with you, it just goes wrong. I don't know what it is.
It's just my
I've done
curse.
it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. No, no, I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it, but no, it's funny. You know what? I owe you. You know, I'll get you back with some alpha that hopefully doesn't go, wrong or something. But you know,
I appreciate it. Well, this has been great. Super Bowl was legendary. Have you taken any time off, or are you going to take time off? What's a day in the life like?
yeah, I feel like I should. I just don't. I took it a little easy today, I will say. But yeah, I feel like I should take more time off. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's like you gotta have balance, right? And start, and there's only so much, of a reason
Predicting.
to make so much money. Well, not that I'm like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm some, fucking, uh, that I'm that guy, like I don't want to make it sound like that, but I mean, you have a higher P&L than I do, so like you kind of have the upper hand on me, but
Yeah, so you have to address me by
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I got to show my respects,
Yeah.
Um, no, but yeah, it's only so much like worth spending time on this stuff, and at some point you got to decide like, what else you want to do and spend your, because I mean, you only have so much time in this world, so you
Yeah.
might as well live it up and enjoy life sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a break next month for a bachelor party weekend. I'll take a weekend off. It'll be good.
Yeah,
I'll get
just a
refreshed. I'll
weekend.
go to
Yeah,
Yep, I'm gonna go to Vegas, do some
Vegas. Okay,
do some
gambling, some real
predicting.
gambling.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, some
Some
real.
you know what they say. You know what they say. That they should have a prediction market on what socket the ball
No.
goes into.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
that is
That's
synthetic risk.
who
Come on, get that out of
who's
here.
building this? Who's building
Get
this?
that
We
out of
need to
here.
see this. Okay, they need to list this right now. It's recurring every 30 seconds.
But yeah, I will be doing some real
It's not
gambling.
gambling though.
I will do probably craps. That's my game of choice.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
Do you
sophisticated.
know you're like a really good craps player?
I'm a craps
Get
sharp.
can't you get the edge on that though?
No, you
Because
people will tell you can by like dice control, but it's fake. You can't. Craps is
okay,
minus
really?
EV. It's just like very small minus EV if you play it right. But I don't even play it right because when I'm playing craps, like I know I'm going to lose money. I just want to have fun. So like I will play it to be fun. But I'm curious. It's funny like going there now. Like now that it's like I'll have like $15,000 on the line on an announcer mention. Like when I used to go to Vegas, I would have like maybe a big weekend. I'd spend like $2,000 as like a bankroll in Vegas, to where I'm like maybe I'll lose 20K this time. No, I'm kidding, but
wow, yeah.
But it will be cool to go to sports books. That's one thing I would really love to do, and be able to see like all the live lines, like maybe checking out Circa or something. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't even really understand. I've heard people talk about Circa and stuff. I don't really know too much about it. So what like is that, and how does it like work?
I guess like Circa, and again, I'm not like a big sports guy, but like arguably it's known as like a very sharp book, right? Like they don't limit many people. They have like one of the best, like in sense of like they spend a lot of time making their lines, and I guess they have very smart, people building the lines there. They have like a really dedicated kind of desk. So they're just known as like a very
Interesting.
sharp book, and they're very much like sports first, right? Like you go to, so it's just like one of the most well known like sports books, you know, like FanDuel, DraftKings, all them, like they're soft books, right? Like Circa's like a kind of very tough, rugged book, and they have a nice. The
So
guy
would
who
you-
runs it's nice on Twitter too.
Yeah, I think I've seen him on Twitter. So would you ever like? Do you think that the lines on Circa, let's say, are like noticeably more efficient enough that you could have like an edge, kind of tailing
me
those
personally,
lines, let's say?
Oh, well, like, yeah, I mean, that's like that's a very, like, that's just like a top down approach, right? Like, you want to look at all the different lines, and like Circa or just like sharper books is like what you would use as like quote unquote source of truth if it diverges much from like Kalshi or whatever you're looking at, even a soft book. So like that's definitely a data point, and that's like a huge thing people in the sports betting world do, is like finding edges. Is like most people are just
Yeah.
top down, like all that stuff, odds jam, all that shit, plus EV, whatever. When they say plus EV, they're just like comparing soft books to sharp books and saying like, okay, like this is a stale line or something.
So that's something that people actually do. Like they look at the lines on Circa or other usage sharp books, as you call it, and kind of cross reference that to soft books, or maybe even some people do that with prediction markets. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe that's something that people do.
That's like huge. That's like majority of people that are actually long term going to be profitable on like actual sports books. That's exactly what they're doing, is they're just top down looking at different lines, and maybe then you can get like a few percent in EV. But like the actual rare few, it's very rare that you could ever actually create your own lines. That's like what's known as like an originator. So that's like people that are actually creating their own numbers, right? And like the idea of like being profitable long term, creating your own numbers is like so difficult, right? Because like think of everything goes into, and then think of how efficient these books are in like creating their own numbers. So but most like recreational kind of bettors on like a sports book, right? They're going to try to, in a sense, like create their own numbers by looking at the odds and being like, oh, I disagree with this, even though like obviously their opinion should not matter.
Vibes trading.
Vibes trading, which only works on prediction markets.
Right. Not sportsbook, just prediction markets. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
no, that's interesting though.
This has been great. We'll for sure do this again. Neil, there were a ton of big markets. You can rewatch the live. We covered all our Super Bowl plays. Nate made 16K on Super Bowl. Which was it? Was it 16?
Yeah, a little under 16.
Yeah. You had a good day. I had an okay day.
You made
11K.
11 or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super solid.
We'll take it. But now the NFL's over, man. I'm stressing. What the hell am I gonna do? I'm gotta find a new edge. Pony. I do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Bonding AI markets.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't do that. There's nothing, no edges there.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, of course not. Just like there's an edge on Dunk, no.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. Well, thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care.